the Laughing Monkey Music Show, Venom Inc. on tour. End of the first leg of the tour. Tony and Jackson, how are you guys?
Hey, we're good. How are you? How is everybody? Nice to see you. And here we are in San Diego on the last night of the last show of a 2-month tour in the USA.
I have been seeing video and compliments about all you guys all over the playing, the guests, the comments from people, the fans. Like, and then I've also seen a lot of you guys meeting afterwards, being the real
Yeah,
thing, being really good. It's just truth. People can go online and look at the go to the pages and look at the stuff. It's out there. So I'm not just making it up. But what I'm saying,
yeah,
it's been a very positive tour because, as we said in the last interview, it was really a throw together. The past year, the band's been up in the air as far as like players and stuff.
yeah.
And considering all that stuff that had gelled together, and post COVID, trying to get vans and technicalities, and then I guess all kinds of things going on, you still managed to pull a tour together to great reviews.
Yeah,
And this is the first time with this lineup touring.
yeah. And the thing is, it's we had a full season. Obviously, we had a two-part American tour. We did the one half with Mantas, of course, and then he wasn't unable to do the second half. Just one of those things, family issues. And so I brought Mike Hickey in to help me complete it, who did a great job. And then, of course, Mike couldn't commit to the whole thing. Mantas himself was, in his own personal space. And so Conor Murphy stepped in to cover some positions. We did a full season. We played all over the planet. And then we had the American tour coming up. And of course, Mantis had a second heart attack. So it was like, well, okay, in order to keep going, Conor had just done the whole season and he wanted to keep going. So that's what we did. So this was the first one with all three of us, with Jackson, of course. And it's been phenomenal. It's hard 2 months in a bus, doing everywhere in America. We started in Cleveland and Indiana in a snowstorm and an ice storm. And then we made our way to Los Angeles, which was on fire. And then we went all the way back round to Denver, which was icy. And then up to Boston, where there was more snow, more storms. And then all the way down to Miami, where it was 80 degrees on the beach. And then across to Texas, up through towards Vegas. And here we are back down in California. So we've done like every season in the world in like 2 months in America. And it's been mind blowing. I mean, it's been an amazing trip. And the idea was we had loads of guests because I just figured, like Sacred Right live in Arizona, and
Yeah.
Juan Garcia and the Body Count Boys live in California, and so does Chris Pontos and the Forbidden guys, Craig Losario up in there. And I thought, we're going to all these places. Why don't I ask them if they're going to come to the show? They should get up and play it, which has been amazing. They have, so we've had some amazing guests jump up and play songs with us. Really, life affirming stuff, and the audiences have been going nuts. So I mean, we couldn't be happier with how the events are. And even tonight, the last show, Juan Garcia from Body Count and Evil Dead is coming again tonight with his
Oh,
wife,
really?
because he wants to get on stage one last time. So it's a great
I
way
think
to end.
all the bands you've had. I think probably the most crazy for me would be to see you guys up jam with Forbidden, because that was another one of my bands that was always
Oh, yeah,
out there for me.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
so that would have been like as a fan, and that's what I'm saying, like as a fan, because they are peers and friends. It's
Yeah,
this
and you know what
celebration,
was
and it's back the way it used to be with music.
exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
And what was amazing was Craig had told me from Forbidden, had told me like 2 years before that, or 3 years before that, that how Rip Ride had been his main song when he was a kid. He loved that song. He used to take the album to school, the What Was Satan album, and it just meant everything. And that song, that song, that song. When he first put a band together, he wanted to play that song, and so that's what I invited him to come and play. So he was like, jumping around like a 16-year-old kid. You couldn't wipe the smile off his face. And of course, Chris Contos, who at the time was in Machine Head, and they did
Yeah,
the famous, I think from Warfield, they did the Witching Hour with Machine Head Slayer.
yeah.
And he was like, can I get up and play Witching Hour? He was like, fuck, yes, you can. So it's been a complete joy. Our peers, the fans, new fans, so many new fans, people coming going, I never came to see the band before, but like, wow. I said, well, what about now? They're like, next time I'm there. I'm a fan for life. So it has been really life affirming. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the response has been amazing. A lot of positive comments, a lot of new fans, young and old. So everything's just super positive, and getting
Well,
to
what's
play
it
with
been for
these.
you though? You're new. You're the new one popping in though. Also, what are the fans doing
Well,
to you? Coming up to you? I mean, you're
Yeah, it's kind of strange for me because
Kind of new, but kind of not.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's with Venom Inc. I was asked to play drums for them a long time ago. Um, when I was in Acid Rain, we played a festival called Lord of the Lands, and both the Demolition Man and Mantas asked me if I would be interested because they were having problems with Abaddon. It wasn't like a definite, but it was kind of like, it was just a question at that time if I would be interested if anything was to happen. And of course, I said yes, but it was kind of too soon after, from Empire to Venom Inc. So I just kind of had to wait and be patient, But even from going from Empire into Venom Inc., it just doesn't feel like I've kind of left Tony's the Demolition Man's side,
Yeah, it just feels natural, and I mean, he's a musician's musician, so playing with him kind of up my game as well. And of course, Curran, who's his Nevermore and his Annihilator aside, the guy's just this impresario, and when he plays it, like it makes me feel like young again. And I realize that both of them do solos during the show, drum solo Jackson does, and the guitar solo Curran does. And I find myself just staring at them, watching, and then have to remind myself as they come to the conclusions.
For the
Oh
show.
shit, I'm in the band. Oh shit, I got to do something because it's just mind blowing. And someone said to me, "Why don't you do a bass solo?" I went, "What after those two? You must be fucking kidding." I said, "To know if I can play the songs with." It's just like, yeah, it's wonderful to watch that happening and to watch the amazement in the audiences, because I think we didn't do, in the old days, in the 70s into the 80s, everybody did a solo, in a band. It was like
Right.
just part of the thing. Whereas now it just doesn't happen. So to have those back in the set and to watch people watching that musicianship, it means you might be playing simple songs to a degree, and they have an impact. But then when they see those musicians step out of their skin and see what they're capable of,
Hmm.
that just underlines the whole thing as being glorious and fun. So it's amazing to see every night.
Well, it's a good change up. I mean, for me, if you remember the first time we met was you came on my show. Like you've done a
Yeah.
million interviews and a million shows in your life. It's not like anything special. But the first time you were on, you and Kling and Mantis. So that was the first one during
Yeah.
COVID, during the apocalypse there, for us from the
Yeah,
apocalypse.
the apocalypse. Yeah, fucking hell.
And then like you came on a million times since then. Almost I feel like I should give you like a co-host thing for your, you know, been on so much. Which there'll be more of. But to that point, so like what I'm saying for Jackson, for you being new, I think Jeremy was known to certain circles too. So it's almost like
Yeah.
a refreshed thing. So because like he was more known, I think, more stateside up, yeah, that when that
Yes.
came out. So I'm saying for you to come in, it's more of a reintroduction to the fans, boots on the ground
Yeah,
type
I
thing
think
right
the
now.
way I see
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it,
Yeah.
Because
I know,
they
what
know
you mean. I mean,
Jeremy like by
when
face, from other
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I think yes, it'll be kind of like a balance between a lot of fans who haven't really seen me on stage with the Demolition Man before,
Yeah.
Right.
and people who have, because when the announcement was made, it just felt like nobody was surprised that I was the
Yeah.
next drummer in
Yeah.
Venom Inc.
Yeah. That
You
was
know?
quite unusual. Yeah. When they say, "Oh, Jackson's in," they went, "Of course he is." It was like, "Oh, right." So I think everybody kind of thought he was always on the peripheral
In it.
like that. And I think the label, because he would have drummed for Venom Inc. from the beginning, but the label wasn't really affirming that because they were concerned that it would just look like we got a deal as Venom Inc., but we were actually Empire of Evil,
Yeah.
which wasn't the case at all. It was about Abaddon, Mantis, and myself, and so that was the whole point. But we had Mr. Kling was in there, because it just happened that way. Jackson was busy with his bands, his projects, and it was just an opportunistic moment for
Yeah.
Mr. Kling, and that we just carried on because we were doing live touring so much. Finally got to the album, did the album, and then it kind of crumbled into what it did. But there just seemed to be the right opportunity for Jackson to come back and sit on the stool. And the moment he did, it was like, this is exactly right.
The way it should have been.
It
The way it should have
feels
been.
right in every way. And I know, and you always hear the bullshit where bands go, "Well, this is the best lineup it's ever been," and then 10 minutes later, nobody is in the band anymore, and then they do it again. And while I know that, and I do know logistically things that happen within the band, that's not the case. But I judge it on how how much fun I'm having and my musicianship, and they're really pushing me and pushing my limits. And it's been an absolute pleasure on stage and off stage. We haven't stopped laughing, enjoying it, and playing music. And it's very different than how it was before. So maybe that's translating to audiences. It certainly seems that way.
It has to.
And yeah, everybody's picking up on that, and we've gained so many new fans, which was always my testament. When people go, yeah, the other fans are there, and it's like, well, if they're the same old fans, I'm not dissing those because we love them, but it's like, the idea is to get new fans, people who could be inspired by it. Everybody else is already inspired, but that's been the focus on it, is getting the
Do you
new
think?
fans.
Do you think? Well, for a few things, I think Jackson. This is really going to be your tour. This just extended all the legs where people are going to really start to know you now as you. I think this is going to be a good one of your good spots. Knowing like you look back, hey, look at you.
There's Curran. I thought this was at 8 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Nobody said 8 o'clock.
Well, it's not
Anyway,
8 o'clock.
there
It's
he
like
is.
my 9 o'clock. Grab a seat. Join us. So what I'm saying is, I think this is going to be good for you getting recognized now, and you're going to start getting your
Yeah.
props. This is going to be a good thing for you. And I do want to say, Tony, what you said about the label that they didn't want to continue it on. They think it was continuing the bands on. That's where they wanted to take it on the knee at the Hill. That's where they do. The band's called Venom Inc. doing Venom songs, and their concern was having a drummer carried over was going to be the sticking point. That's
Well,
kind of a
no, I think it was more so much as that they wanted Venom Inc. And the legacy was Venom,
oh
but
yeah, but
also the characters have been in there. But I just think they thought that it would look kind of odd if we'd already been together as Empire of Evil, and then we changed the name to Venom Inc. Got
yeah,
a deal, and then we're just Empire of Evil again. And that was never the intention. It wasn't Jeff's intention nor my own intention, and certainly not Mark's or Abaddon's intention. So it was just a personnel thing. And
all right,
to us, it wasn't a huge thing. And we were fine with that. And, when Abaddon then left, it was like, okay, but then the timing wasn't right. And then when Mr. Kling was out of the band, it was right. It was the right timing. So it wasn't a manipulative thing. Nothing was planned. It just happened organically,
yeah,
And, people can think what they want to say what they want. It makes no difference. We know the truth. And it was just organic. And it has to be organic. It can't be forced. There's no reason. You don't want to stay in a band with people who don't want to be in a band. So, they may say things after they're not in the band anymore. But the point is they wouldn't have been there for so long if they felt that way in the band. So it's like,
right,
it's only when they are exercised from that. But what I say is just be happy. If you're not happy, don't do it. When you're happy, do it. So if you're not happy, do something that makes you happy. We're not here long enough to worry about that kind of stuff. And certainly I'm not putting up with that because, at 61 now, it's like I just want peace and quiet. I want fans. I want music. I want a tour and I want to have some fun. And with these two guys and the rest of the team, we've got a splendid team and it's fun. I'm not saying we didn't have fun before. Of course, we absolutely did.
right,
For 36 years, me and Mantas being under that Venom flag had the best times. He's my brother. I wish him the best of everything. And if he wanted to come back, I still don't care what anybody says. I'm not closing any doors on him. But I'm also supporting any choices he makes because, he's an individual. And if he wants to do what he wants to do, then that's what he wants to do. But erstwhile, we both have careers, and this is my career. And it was a choice
yeah,
that I made to do it when he asked me to do it as a career again. So I'm doing it as a career, and that goes beyond. And the pleasure is to take Venom Inc., you know, not Venom, Venom Inc. out and play Venom Inc. songs, as well as classic songs that fans want to hear, and see the response of kids who might never hear those classic songs losing their mind.
right,
That's worth gold. It's worth gold. And that's what I want to do. If I can inspire, because like I said to someone, there may be 1,000 people in the audience, 100,000 people in the audience, or 10 people in the audience. But who knows if the next Dimebag Darrell isn't out there, or Dave Lombardo, or James Hetfield, who's about to go and change the world, and you might help a little bit to inspire them to do that. That's what I think every night I go on stage when I say young faces. Like, I don't know who they are, but one day I might know they are the Steve Vai of that
right.
generation. Who knows? So, yeah.
I do want to say one thing, and you got like, a couple of things to talk about. You got on a tour coming up, a couple of things. You got some releases coming up. We're gonna jump to those. I
Yes.
do want just one thing because I did see something he said. I'm gonna say this is Mantis about, and it kind of threw me off and it kind of concerned me because I spoke with you, but that you've done some interviews and probably ours was the one that started it. That was more of a damage control situation, and it wasn't because or he was hurt because of this and that. Well, well, no, I'm gonna say this: you guys are both grown ass men. You both could just pick up the call and phone and call each other. If he wants to call you, he just
Yes.
calls you. So that's not it. But him saying I quit the band and posting and you didn't know about it, that can be kind of
No, I mean,
right, right. So to that point, and he's quit a couple times the band a few times before.
yeah,
So all that stuff going on. At this point, I think a lot of what I'm saying is with the fans, it's really between Tony and Jeff and their miscommunication, what's going on with them. Right now, you just got two Venoms, and Tony's not being insincere, and Jeff's probably not being insincere how he feels, but it's not going to matter because it's not going to affect the band because Jeff he quit the band regardless of how he did it. And if he wants to come back, like he said, but I don't think this is not a make believe thing. This is not a damage control or something. It's really a best wishes, and the band just wants to play without slagging anybody off. There's no dirt, no nothing, and it's just
exactly. You know, I think that's it. At
take
the
it
end of the
out.
day, at the end of the day, fans don't want to hear all that
Oh,
public. What the fuck's all that about? And you know, and it's and I'm a man. I'm not a child, and I'm not bitch slapping in a schoolyard. It's like,
no,
listen, you know, you feel how you feel, and if that's how you feel, I'm very sorry about that. You know, but I can't control that. That's how you feel, and if you're angry about something, then okay, you want to express it. It's fine. But for me, it's about the music. It's not about what happens behind the curtains. You know, Venom for years have just been attacking each other, and of course I get dragged into it because you know they use me to whatever. They just use me. So it's okay. You use me, that's fine. But I also am part of this thing. I also have a career. I also have to be respected and supported, and I'm allowed to be respected and supported. Sorry, and so you have to accept that as well. And you know, when you write the music and you play it to your band, it's yours. But as soon as you release it, you don't own it anymore. The
right.
fans own it. They're the ones paying you. They're the ones doing your GoFundMe's, giving you their money that they earned. They're the ones buying your T-shirts with the money they earned. They're the one buying concert tickets with the money they earned. They're the one buying your albums over and over that they earned. So it's like, and you're the one on the other end receiving the royalty from that or the payment from that. So it's almost like, well, you know, it's not your ownership. So if I'm in front of fans, for example, and they want to hear Countess Bathory, and I don't want to play it, but I can play it, well, I consider that a bit incongruous. I consider that a bit small-minded. It's like if we can play it and they want to hear it and they want to shout and sing along with it, well, then why not play it? You know, I've been doing it for 36 years, and all of a sudden I can't do it. Why?
Well, I
It's
think
like,
that's the
no,
point.
it's
You know,
just nuts, you know?
well, that's the point. I want people to understand you're very sincere. The band just loves the music. Just see Venom Inc. See Venom. You can like them both. You can like one. You don't have to slag off either. You can see
That's
Mantas. You can see all three.
exactly.
You have three different projects. You can check it if you want. The point is, we just want to squash any kind of bad blood out there because there really isn't any with any of the bands and members. Just enjoy the music, and that's really I want
Exactly,
to say. That's
exactly. The politics are not to be in music, and the
no,
personal issues are not part of the front of the whole thing.
no.
And you know, we all have things we can say, we all have things we can grumble about, but you have that in your life. You know, you have that with your partner, don't you? You know, there's certain things you want to say to her, and there's other things you just keep your mouth shut because you know you're not going to win, and that's just family, you know. And I think Venom, like I said to someone the other day, you know, Venom is a family you don't want to have everybody in the same house around the table at Christmas, and that's just how it is, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's shocking and it's hurting, and it hurts you with a relationship that's so close, and I don't understand it. But I didn't manipulate anything. I'm not making a million gabillion dollars. I'm working my tits off, and it's about the music. And if I go home with nothing, and the fans love the music, and the next time we come, they're all there, and there's more of them, then I'm happy. You know, I've never
That's what I'm
hidden the
saying.
fact of why I do this. I don't do this for pussy. I don't do this to be rich. I don't do this, you know, it's about the fans for me. And when I would go off the bus straight after a concert and spend an hour and then get on a bus and be told, you shouldn't do that, you should play a fucking the rock star card, it's like, but that's not who I am. It's not who I am. I think of every fan as I was a fan. So how would I feel if a Lemmy or a fucking Richie Blackmore just come and hung out and just chatted, and listened to my story, I'd be
Yeah.
amazed by that. I'd love that. And so that's what I'm trying to do, And it's not about me, it's about the music and it's about the guys. And I want people to see these guys play, hear these guys play, and say, if you come, and we don't just play Venom songs, we don't play Venom original songs. That's not where our focus is. With when Abaddon and Mantas, of course, we played those songs because they wanted to challenge Kronos. They wanted to be an alternate Venom. I just did okay, fine, yeah. I had so much fun with them, growth, and so. But now the focus is Venom Inc. We have two albums. We have a new album coming, two live albums coming. We're just on a world
Yeah, let's
tour.
talk about them. Let's
We're
let's talk about what's going
continuing.
on
So
the tour. Let's actually talk about that. I mean, so people, I just want to say one last thing. Mom and dad get divorced, they can still love the kids. If there's anything goes on behind the scenes, Tony and Mantis can hash it out behind the scenes. It doesn't need to be every cover story. Go see every band, support everybody, feel the love.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
music.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the
Just
music,
come and experience it.
right?
Forget the politics. Come and be
Right, the
part of
politics.
it. And
Yeah.
if you stand like we all three of us said, if you stand there like Curran, you say to people, man, just come to the show. If you don't like it, I'll buy you drinks and I'll buy you a ticket, and then you didn't spend any
Yeah.
money. Don't worry about it. But you
Go to
might
the
like
show.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was some people who I've met on the tour who were reluctant because of the whole Mantas situation, blah 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 blah. But once they've actually seen the show, there's never once been anything negative said about what we've done, and it just seems like they're always blown away. So we're doing something right, and so is Corin.
Except for showing up
Yeah, you guys.
sometimes in the
Yeah,
interview. But yeah, no, I mean the reaction has been so beautiful. Oh, I get to
Yeah.
and the
oh, there's
reaction,
a hot
better. He's
seat.
in the line.
Oh, we
He's
have a
in the
hot
line.
seat. We
there
could
we
have
go.
done that
I'm in
earlier,
the line.
huh?
Okay. No, but like the reaction has been so brilliantly awesome from all of these fans. Yeah, I mean, literally 13-year-old kids, 16-year-old kids. And then, the fans who, one of my old friends that I've known for 25 years came to one of our shows just the other day. And he's like, I've been a Venom fan since I'm 14. And Venom was my first concert. And I just can't believe how incredible you guys were. He was almost speechless, like stuttering over himself. And the whole tour, this entire tour, for fans who have been fans of Venom for 40 years, 50 years, like, hey, I'm 65 now. It made me think of when I was 14 and first heard, Welcome to Hell, or, At War with Satan. And to hear people tell you this stuff, it's like, I think we're doing something right. We're paying honor and tribute to those legendary songs and those legendary albums by these legendary musicians. And then we're beating the hell out of them with all the pummeling Venom Inc. stuff, man. I mean, it's good stuff.
I think
I don't
people
know. I
need to
get
come out. I
excited
think you're
talking
right.
about it.
I think people need to come out to prove it. And if they even have a slight doubt, what's that? You did a big concert. It's not a rockin' one. It's a concert you guys did from Poland or something. It's out there with you guys playing. It's a live one. It's like in the daytime.
Yeah.
It sounds so
Yeah.
good. That should be enough to motivate people. Which one is it?
It was Poland Rock, the one
Yeah,
in front of the 500,000 people in
it
Poland.
sounds
Yeah.
it sounds so good. People, if you like, blah, 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 I don't want to see them. Watch that video and to get an idea of what you're gonna hear. Then go to the show. You'll see if Tony being fake is Kieran being fake. He's gonna say, no, they're gonna hang out with you. You're gonna enjoy the show, and the proof's in the pudding. If not, go online.
And
You
I
can
think
go
that's it,
online and
Sean.
videotape it,
I,
but you'll
I
see.
do think I do think that's also it. The thing is, you can play them by numbers, so you can play all the right notes, you can sing all the right lyrics, and you can play in time. But if you're not playing real from your heart, if it isn't real, the fans won't be interested. And the reason that we're turning the coin over is because people stand in front of us and go, "Holy shit!" It's the impact of us actually doing it and meaning it, and
And you're
that's
fans of
the
the
only
band
way.
too. You're fans of the
Yeah,
music.
it's the only way you can do Venom music. It isn't Bon Jovi. It isn't Toto. It isn't something you can just sit
I would
back in a
love
nice
to hear you
comfy
guys
seat
do a
and
Bon
watch.
Jovi song. I'll be honest with you. I hear you guys do a Bon Jovi song. I would love that. You should learn one for when I see you guys. That would be the best. Oh my
Well,
god.
actually, we all writing one for the new album called "Slippery When Covered in Slime." It's a kind of Bon Jovi one.
Well,
Kind of Bon Jovi-ish.
we've been talking about what to call the next Venom Inc. record.
John Bolby.
Well, no, we were just gonna call it Jersey. because
Oh,
there's an
Jersey, yeah.
just Jersey
Yeah.
and
Yeah, right.
England, and that's I mean,
Yeah.
so I mean,
And when we all
that's
wear
original,
we'll
baby.
all wear jerseys on the cover.
That would be
it'll all
great.
look nice.
I don't know. Like, I think Geordie jeans would be better.
But
That'd be awesome.
it feels very positive,
Does, yeah.
and we try and stay away. I try and stay away from negative things, because obviously the members of Venom are doing their things, and Conrad is doing his thing, and I'm glad he is, because I think I always said there should be. I don't want a world with no Venom in it. And I don't care how that manifests itself, whether it's any one of the three. But I don't want people to think that we spend all of our time pretending to be Venom and focused on all Venom songs. We do not. We are Venom Inc. and we have our own music. And I have a legacy of my part of Venom, which is also punctuating the set. And we play an hour and a half when most bands are managing 50 minutes. And at our age, that's quite something. So, but we will not shy away from putting some classic songs in if fans want to hear them. And I don't care who says what about anything. I said this at the very beginning when I put this band together. And I put this band together and I said, I want the fans to pick the songs because they wanted to play all the
How many
songs.
songs are you doing
Well,
now? Of Venom?
Now we've got about 25 in this set, but I think we got about 60 on rotation. So there's a lot of songs, and we can change it anytime we want to, and that's amazing. I mean, to just if anything happens on stage, we nobody drops the ball, and we can do whatever we want. I need to cough.
Yep.
Sorry.
I think one of the really important things to mention is, and it's evident from even social media, not just the people who come, for social media, they go like commenting, fans commenting about the Mantas situation, being like, oh no, like kind of like,
You're right.
reluctant is the right word, with the whole, kind of thing that happened. And then coming to the show, you can see how much the comments are starting to kind of flip,
Change.
to
Well,
positive.
it's not.
And it
well, yeah.
wasn't ever like fully negative. It was just a reluctance of of what's happened, because it's obvious. I mean, Mantas was an important part of the Venom Inc. band. But at the end of the day, that wasn't our choice. That was his choice, and we don't hold anything against him for making that decision. He's not in good health. He hasn't been in good
No.
health for a few years now. So it's not just the physical aspect, but it's the mental aspect as well. So it's all of that kind of thing that people need to take into consideration. And for anyone who thinks that we've done wrong to Mantas is wrong themselves. It wasn't our choice, and it would have been really cool for Mantas just to kind of go, look at these guys, they're still going. I can't do it anymore. These guys are holding the flame and carrying on.
Mhm.
And it's a shame about the what was made public, that I'll not talk too much about, but it's just the people who were reluctant, who come to the shows, just seem to change their mind straight away and just go, that was amazing. That's what the comments have been all the way
Do you
through.
think they're feeling unloyal by enjoying the show? Do you think it's like, oh, if they like you, they're like, oh man? You know what I'm saying? Do you think the fans are kind of like on the fence, like, well, if I support them, I'm not being
that's the
supportive of
thing,
Mantas because he's original Venom, so I'm not a good fan.
Yeah, and
Fascinating.
I get that. I do get that. But at the end of the day, if it works, it works. And this works. This lineup works. And I'm not saying it wouldn't have with Mantas, but he can't do it. He's said himself publicly that he cannot do it because of his health.
Yeah.
So we can't just stop. I mean, me, myself, who was in a band with Mantas and Empire of Evil for like 4 years, it would have been great to be in a band with Mantas again with Venom Inc. But it's something that's just completely out of our control, And thankfully, even from the first show when Curran was stepping in, which it felt even then like, is Mantas actually going to come back? Curran was the guy who was the right guy, you know, straight away. That's what I said to Tony straight after that festival. You know, I said if Mantas doesn't come back, which would be really sad and a shame, which, you know, of course it is. You know, we wanted him back. You know, Curran's the right guy if Mantas doesn't come back, and that's what happened, you know. But
And I think
nothing
that's
against Mantas.
I think it got misconstrued quite a lot in the outside world. I mean, Kling said something when he left that, it was a cover band and were just playing old songs, and yet there's video evidence of all the songs we did, and there you are. There's all stuff from RV album. There's stuff from There's Only Black, so that was untrue. And also saying he knew Madness wasn't coming back. Well, then if he knew Madness wasn't coming back, what was the big deal about the Newcastle show, which he was asked to do, and he was like and didn't do? So I mean, I'm just confused. I'm confused by the whole thing. But all I can say from my point of view, sincerely, is I've never said anything bad. And if he flew in to do shows in America, one show here, one show there, New York, Los Angeles, that would have been amazing. If he came into Newcastle and walked on stage and played one song, it would have been incredible. And we wanted that. I wanted that. Of course I did.
I wanted that.
So
I thought that would have been amazing.
it wasn't our decision. We can't, to be lambasted because it wasn't our decision. It's like, if my mum's sick and said I can't go do the shopping, and I go, don't worry, I'll do your shopping for you, I'm supporting her. You can't go, you should have
I
made
think
her
the
do her
problem is he
shopping.
says he was not invited, and
Well, that's
that's
not true.
I know that. I'm saying, but that's the discrepancy. And I think we need to, I think eventually, hopefully, we'll get past this. And he's not physically there, so
Yeah,
I think it's a good point. And he's got his music. I know he's liking singing now, and his music's a little bit differently. I think that's
that's it.
perfect
I think
because he
the
can
thing
do
is,
it. He has something he can put his energy into different.
yes, for me, in regard to his welfare, I just want him to be alive, be happy where he lives, so he's secure. He didn't never like traveling. He didn't like the whole touring thing. I totally got that, and I'd said him a year before, make an announcement, you won't tour anymore, and we'll tour 1 year, and then you just retire, and everybody will respect that. So as long as he's happy, he's doing what he wants to do, where he wants to do it, and he's happy. He doesn't have to travel anymore. He doesn't have to tour anymore. Then that's good. And if he's in good health, then that's great. And I know mentally he's been struggling, and I can only go so far to support it. I mean, I'm not a fucking a psychiatric. I can just be there for him, and that's what I tried to be. But clearly, it wasn't enough. But it was all I had. I only have me. That's it, and that's what I'm taking out to the fans, and that's what we're taking out to the fans. And that's why this works, because we're only us. We're not somebody else. We're not pompous. We're not trying to be anything else. We're just who we are. We're Venom Inc. So the distinguish between Venom and Venom Inc. And they talk about original members. I am the original member of Venom Inc. So, I mean, it's as simple as that. I want everybody to come and see it and just to feel it, hear those songs. If you wait for a reunion, may never happen. So, if you want to hear the songs live and it's an album that you had and you were born 20 years after it, then come and have a listen. Tell me if you want to hear a song and I'll put it in the set. Like I said about Craig, from Forbidden, he wanted to do Rip Ride, so we put it in the set and made him come and play it. I mean, that's what we're doing. We're not doing it in a contrite way. We're not contriving anything. We're not trying to manipulate anybody. We will do a new album. There will be those songs in the set. We'll play less and less, probably no Venom songs on the next tour. Who knows? But if fans are going, please play this song, we will play it because they
Right.
want to hear it.
Well,
And
I
at
think
the
that's
end
the
of
whole
the
point
day,
is for
it's
them to
about the
hear that all
music.
this stuff that's going on, and all the stuff you guys are talking about. It's very important, and not to the minutia of him saying I wanted to go and I couldn't go, and you guys saying this, because it doesn't really matter. Van Halen and David Lee Roth.
No,
At the
no,
end
it
of the day, you
doesn't.
have two
It
different
one of
doesn't.
albums.
the
It doesn't matter. People just need to go see the show, and
yeah.
it's the
Yeah,
and if there's an issue between Tony and Jeff, it's gonna be an issue between Tony and Jeff, not between you.
Exactly.
You guys just listen to the music.
I think one of the really important things to mention as well is, you know, even on the very first festival that Curran stepped in for Mantas, you know, Curran wanted Mantas back. He wanted
Oh,
him
it's
to be
very
in
evident
good
in our
health.
interview
I
too.
mean,
Curran's a big fan of Mantis.
Curran.
Yeah.
I don't think you've met Mantas, have you?
No, I
There
haven't.
you go. You know, and even the South American tour that we did, Curran was saying, you know, just let me know when Mantas is ready to come back.
Yeah, I mean, in the interview I did that I did with
Yeah.
you, I said it's like, even if all the plans are laid out. Hey, Tony, Venom Inc. has all these show obligations, these tours and this and that. And it's like, all right, Kern, you're the man. You're going to be coming out with us. And then I get the phone call the next day. Well, hey, Mantas says he's ready. Well, okay. Because I still get, kind of squirrely when people say, oh, what's it like replacing Mantas? And fuck you. There's no replacing Mantas. It's not possible. All I can do is play the classic songs and the Venom Inc. songs to the very, very best of my ability, and is true to the records and is true to what I've seen from the hundreds and thousands of live videos, so that,
They get the
the fans
Yeah.
aren't disappointed. And so far, all the shows, the year and a half that I've been playing with Tony and Mark, and playing in Venom Inc., and now being told, hey, you're our guitar player in Venom Inc. You're the guitar player with Mantas retiring, is that every fan has been nothing but positive. I have yet to meet one person who's come up and been like, yeah, fuck you, dude, you're not Mantas.
Yeah.
And even if they did, I'd be like, yeah, you're right, I'm not Mantas. Let's go get a beer. I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
You're hurting my feelings, but nothing a beer can't
Yeah.
fix.
Well, you guys are also just working musicians. I mean, well, that's the whole point. I think. So actually, guys, this is a good transition because with the live music, that live concert is fantastic. What do you guys have planned? Do you guys have any live music being released, EPs? You guys have some stuff in the works. Let's talk about some
Oh,
the tour
Yeah,
coming
oh,
up,
that's
other
it. I
places to
mean,
see you.
that's the whole point. We did the South America and it was so successful with Possessed. And we recorded every show. So we wanted to do as a thank you for the Latin America. We're doing a live album of all of those shows. So we live stuff from each place we played. And that will compose a live album. And then we're doing a second live album, which is every song we played, every song we've actually played throughout the whole season, over 16 months. And that will be the second live album that will go out while we're working on the new
Sep-
studio album, which
So those will be separate albums or like a double
yes,
live.
separate
Two
albums. So
separate.
there'll be two live
How
albums.
far apart? How far apart are we looking? People
As
like the
close as we
details.
can make them, really. They'll probably drop about a month apart, is the
Okay.
idea. So
What's the timeline you thinking?
yeah, so it'll be boom, the one will go, then the next one will come out. One's for the world and one's for Latin America as a thank you,
Yeah.
which will be like an assault, a Latin American assault. And then the new studio album, which is us, based on what we've been doing. So, all three of us are compositionists. And I already had a whole load of songs ready for this part two of There's Only Black. So, the world's our oyster, if you like. I mean, we're just free to do whatever we want to do, and we'll do it under the flag of Venom Inc. And like I say, the confusion being that we're not challenging anything like that. Mantis is now free, Abaddon's now free. People go, oh, you can't have Venom without Kronos, you can't have Venom without Mantos, you can't have Venom without Abaddon. And not all together, they're all separate issues. So it's like, well, if they're all free, then let's see it. Let's see that reunion. They can go and be glory hunters, and they can do the whole wow, we're all here again, and good luck to that. That won't stop Venom Inc. from
I
being
think
Venom
those
Inc.
three guys together hitting each other, it's like some kind of space nucleus, some glorious explosion that was short and explosive, but they all can't last together because of some kind of cosmic thing.
Yeah, it's a
And when it
cosmic,
hit, it was
cosmic
beautiful.
repellation, a
You know what I'm saying?
cosmic repellation.
Right,
Yeah,
but it can't just stay together. There's just too much going on there.
yeah,
The energy of all of them, and they have to be separate. But when they hit, those classic albums that we still talk about were
yeah,
created, and then they,
yeah.
you know, people can want us like, what are you talking about the timeline? Because you have you go on tour, leaving US tour, then you got
Yeah.
UK tour, then I think you're coming back
Yes.
for US tour, and the date. So hear me out. And the live albums for Heart. And when are you thinking for the other release of an original album? What's the
Well,
timeline for
that's
all
it.
that?
It's kind of trying to squeeze it all in, because when we finish US tour, we go back. I think today's the last show. By next weekend, we'll be back home. All of us. Then we'll continue the pre-work for the post-work from the tour and compositioning, and then we go straight into Europe. So we do the full European tour, 30-odd dates, and then when we get back from that, we have another couple of weeks free, and then we come back to do the second part of USA and Canada, and then we go back and we have another few weeks free, and then we're straight off to Asia and Australia. So it's kind of full on. So the live albums are not a problem. Curran runs the studio. I have my studio. Mark can record. So as far as production goes, Curran does production. I do production. So we can do the live stuff. We have all the material. So it's just fishing through and putting it together. And then the
Well,
studio stuff.
you put it out there, the fans are going to want to start knowing like ideas and dates. That's why I'm inquiring.
Yeah,
So I'm trying to be
yeah.
the
Well,
voice of the
dates
fans.
wise,
Like, when are we gonna get it?
yeah. I mean, all I can say is they're going to punctuate. By summer end, we should have the 2 live
All right.
albums, and by probably we'll finish recording the new album by the end of the year. Some will be remote, some will be together at Current's place, and then into New Year. So I'm looking maybe February, March will be the where we go to South America again in February. That's when we'll release a new studio album. So we'll be down there supporting that by then. So, but that's only because we can record before, but we can't release. There's certain release targets we have
Right.
to hit. March is one of them. So as soon as we can get the new one out, it'll be out. But in between, we'll be focusing on the live albums and the rest of the shows.
That's awesome. It's really good. So you guys are also good with the fans. So if people want to walk out, ask you questions, probably should hit you guys up on Facebook, ask you bass questions, guitar questions, drum questions, friend you
Yeah,
guys, chat up with you guys. You guys are very, very easy to talk to, very open,
I think that's the
and
thing,
you
though,
love the
Sean.
fans. I don't, yeah.
I think that's the thing. It's about access. You know, we don't hold ego. We're about the fans and about the music. And if they want to ask something, we let them to ask it. And it could be a good question. It could be an awkward question. It could be a bad question. But I always say, if if you don't like the answer, I'm very sorry, but you asked the question. So it's like, if you ask the question, I'll give you the honest
Well,
answer. I don't have a filter. It's either yes or no. So and so it depends on the question you're asking.
you know,
But I think the freedom of speech is to say what you think when you're asked a question and not cover it in fucking flour and goo and candy. It's just say what it is. And
well, you're not gonna make
so
everybody happy. You know what I mean? Like some people are like, once David Lee Roth left, I'm just saying David Roth because it's easy for everybody to know for all the
no, yeah,
audiences. Once
yeah,
David Lee
yeah,
Roth
yeah, of
left,
course,
they weren't Van Halen. To me, I'm like, oh yes, they were. With Sammy Hagar, it's probably one of the best vocals out there. But do I love
yeah,
David Lee Roth back then? Yeah. Do I have two different Van Halens? Yeah. Deep Purple, Mach 1, Mach 2. I mean, come on. You're not gonna just chop
yeah.
off versions of Deep Purple. So what I'm saying is, some people are never gonna say whatever. This version is in Venom. You guys, Venom Inc. is in Venom. Now Venom Inc. without you, Mantas is in Venom Inc. Well, it is. So
Of course it
the
is.
best
Of
you're
course
doing
it
everything
is.
you can. You're accessible. Go see the show if they don't like it. Okay, and then you just go see Venom, or you could you can support all
Yeah,
three
you
bands.
have a choice.
Well,
You have a
and
choice.
Jeff's music too. He's out there.
Yeah.
Please go support him too. It was just there's definitely not negative about him.
Exactly. Exactly. It's
He's got some
everybody doing
vocals and some
everything.
jamming music of his own out there. Please check him out.
Yeah. I mean,
You
the
know?
thing is that not to say anything about that, but I also have other records. I've also done other things in my career, and while all of that diatribe might be going on, I've had a long, healthy career. I've done movies and television and all of my stuff, and I read
Four Adam
something
Kraft albums, is it? Right? Is it four Adam Kraft albums?
yeah, exactly. So
That's what I have on
I
iTunes.
mean.
I don't know if you've had more than that, but yeah.
No, that's about it. But I've been doing it for
Okay.
40 odd years. But not to forget, the current also was in Nevermore, was in Annihilate Jackson,
Yeah.
did Control the Storm, was in Acid Rain. So it's not like we just turned up and we're usurping somebody. There
Right.
is a legacy there. And there is a long history of musicianship. And that's what we're promoting and that's what we're producing. And Venom Inc., the distinction is it's a different band. It's a different band. Okay, it morphed into something from something else, but that's just how things happen.
That's all life
That's
is. That's all
time.
life is.
Yeah, exactly. So the fact that people come to our show and we don't have to play any Venom songs at all. Or my period, we can, but we don't even have to do that if we didn't want to. But we do because fans are asking us to do. And I think the misnomer is that people think we're trying to use that as our platform. That's the last thing we need to do. And you can even talk about the logo. The logo was suggested, the logo they wanted to use, so we used it. We registered it, we own it. That's the logo. So it's used. We could have picked anything. And then I did There's Only Black, and I put the font on There's Only Black, and everybody complained that I wasn't putting the logo on. So it's like, make your mind up. So it's
That's
like, you
important. You're not
either
going to
want
get
it or
only
you
so
don't want
far.
it.
I think this discussion probably reached out to the undecided, or people think that they're being unloyal Mantis, because if Mantis says
Yes.
this and Tony says this, and you have
You're
to
not
believe
being
one or the
unloyal.
other.
It's
No,
support
I'm saying you don't have to believe.
everything.
You don't have to believe either of them. You don't have to believe Tony.
No,
You don't have to believe Mantis.
exactly.
Just go to each show. That's it.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no wrong.
yeah,
No
yeah,
diversion of
Yep,
fans.
it's
Just
all about the music. That's the most
right.
important part of all of this.
If you want to hear the songs played live,
yeah.
the
That's
good
it,
news
really.
for every Venom Inc. fan and for every Venom fan is, at this point, you now got two bands. You got Venom Inc. and we're doing our damnedest to play the classic Venom stuff right and all the cool Venom music. And then you've got Venom. You
Great,
got
actually. Well,
Kronos
then you
doing
got
Venom.
yeah. Well, we got Mantas is
So,
going to do this stuff. He's singing and he's playing his guitar and he's doing videos. So you'll have a
and
third person to
Exactly. It's
celebrate.
all
That's a
there. It's all
third.
you
there.
know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy all of
So
it. Enjoy some of it.
yeah,
Enjoy none of it. But you can.
exactly.
I think the rock and roll stuff that he's putting out is good. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that's cool. Go,
He's
dude,
discovered
go.
a singing voice. It's great. I am
Be happy.
very
Be
supportive of him.
happy. You
Yeah.
You know,
know, that's it.
That's what I mean. That's my point. My point is, if he's happy and that's what he wants to do,
Mhm.
it's not my thing. But if that's what he wants to do, fucking 100%, absolutely go for it. I know he's happy doing it because he's doing it. So if you're comfortable doing that and that makes you happy, and then it eradicates all the bits that you didn't like to do, fantastic. Do that. If Conrad does, people bang on about Conrad. He only does a couple of festivals a year, but he's happy doing that. So you can see him. But I can't go to, well, then don't go. You can't see him then. Or go and you can see him. It's not, he's not hiding away, but he
yeah.
selects what he wants to do. But he's allowed to do that. Sure, you want him to tour everywhere, but he doesn't want to tour. So, if you want to come and see us, I'm a tour dog. We'll be all over the planet all the time. There's no way you're going to hide us. You're never going to
Closest
stop
people are going
us.
to get to ever seeing Venom playing everywhere is you guys. So
Yeah, yeah.
I do want to say
And
one thing. It's a good album. It's been out what
I
2
think
years now.
I think it's amazing. I think Jeremy did an amazing
Yeah,
job. Jeff plays it outside of himself, and,
yeah.
I was really happy with the album. And on this
There is
tour in
only black. Check
particular,
it out. Yeah,
yeah,
it's fantastic.
throughout the whole season, but even on this tour, we've got people asking for that album, asking, please play this song, please play the dance, please play How Many Can Die. And it's like, oh my God. So, the album was significant, as was Ave, which is like, a
Yeah, it's
huge
a good
album
album
for
too. Yeah,
people
it's a good
who've
album
been
too.
coming. So, like I say, we already have our own legacy. We don't need to rely on anything else, but we do it because fans want it. They ask us for those songs. And so, okay, if we're in front, I mean, we did black metal last night. Okay, I'm not on the album. He's not on the album. He's not on the album. We didn't write it. You wrote it on the toilet. He recorded the vocals. Yeah, yeah, yada, yada, yada. But when we played it, the place went fucking crazy. Nobody slamming themselves, losing their mind, singing every lyric, was worried that who was on stage doing it. They were just in the zone. And that's the pleasure we get. That's the pleasure we get. And like I say, anybody having a go, it's like I've been doing it 40 years and my association with Venom is over 36 years. So, you can't tell me I've been playing the songs for 36 years and all of a sudden now I'm not allowed to play the song because it's about somebody else. That diminishes, it's disrespectful, and it's not something that I'm into. I don't do that to Conrad, I don't do that to Anthony, and I don't do that to Jeffrey. I don't do that to any of them because they were my friends. They were significant. The music was significant. It meant something to me, and it still does mean something to me. If it means something to them, it's fantastic. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. But I know it does, really, and that's why they really want to be part of that. But they're all doing their thing. Nobody's gone. They're all still doing their own thing, and they're all very happy doing it. So I'm happy doing what I'm doing. They're happy doing what I'm doing. You should be happy. You have it all to see. It's a smorgasbord of Venom for you. You know? Think of it this way: you had a
All
bowl,
Venom
you
all
had
the
a
time.
bowl of Venom, and now you've got a smorgasbord of Venom. So it's
That's
like
right.
wherever you look, one of us is kicking you in the ass. That's gonna be a good thing. That's gonna be a good thing.
10 pounds of Venom in a 5-pound bag.
Yeah.
That's your next tour shirt, actually.
Yeah.
All right, enjoy your. So I want to. I know you got to get a play soon. So enjoy your show tonight. Last show in America for a while. When you come back again, I want to see you this time next few
Absolutely,
days.
yeah.
Exciting that you guys have so much music going on. That you guys are gelling so well. The happiness is palpable. You know what I mean? And there's no negativity. It really is true.
None, no negativity, none.
And
UK
after
tour.
2 months out
Yeah.
on the road, normally at the end of a tour, after especially 2 months on the road, I'm used to like, you know, fuck you, no, fuck you more, no, fuck you the most.
Yeah.
And
Two
this
months
is
on the
like
bus, though. I
I'm
think
sitting
I'm
here
glad this
all
is not in
mopey that it's
person.
coming
You
to
know
an
that?
end.
That this is
Yeah,
this is not.
2 months, 2 months in a bus on the road all around America. I don't know how many miles we've done through every climate you can think of, and
Fire.
every occurrence that can happen, and the whole team, our sound person, merch person, driver, and the band. none of us want to go, and even the support band's going, "Oh my God, it's going to be so hard leaving you guys," and that has never happened before,
Yeah.
and
I
that's
saw that
wonderful.
actually. I saw them post online, and obviously they were on the show too. Another great bunch of guys, and so it really has been some kind of thrashy death
Yeah,
metal love fest because it's just about playing. So,
yeah,
so I was saying
yeah.
I couldn't
Everybody's
imagine being in the bus after you guys been on it for 2 months. I'm glad this is like a remote thing because I can't imagine a bunch of dudes on a bus for a few months.
well,
This would not be the
smells.
attitude.
It's got its own peculiar smell. Put it that way.
Definitely smells like Updog.
What's up,
No.
dog?
What's up, dog?
Nothing. What's up with you? I'll show
All
myself
right,
out.
guys, I want to thank you very much. Just any last words?
Mine's Bob.
Your last or my last word?
Your
Your last
next.
word?
I have no regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Everything and anything.
Everything and
Perfect.
anything. There you go. That covers everything. No
That's it.
regrets, Bob. Anything and anything.
Well,
There you
and
go.
we will end on that, gentlemen. Thank
Thank you so
and
much.
enjoy the
Thanks,
tour.
Thank
man.
you,
We'll talk
Sean.
then.
Be good.